Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and today we are back once again to talk about some drama, which again is usually fun. It's hopefully interesting, but no matter what, I just want to present these stories to you guys because I know, again, not everyone is all over Reddit. Not everyone is all over Twitter. Not everyone hears all these stories, all these drama happenings in the League of Legends scene, and sometimes they can be a little bit interesting, a little bit juicy, but I just want to help everyone stay up to date, up to speed, and then obviously give some of my thoughts and opinions as well, and get thoughts and opinions from you guys. So this is some interesting drama coming out of TSM, obviously a team who has been no stranger to drama recently. Obviously the Reggie and Double stuff happening this past offseason. A lot of the old time and really beloved TSM members leaving the team, each for their own different various reasons. We have had, the TSM team kind of struggling as of late. We've had Parth just recently leaving. A lot is happening at TSM. But again, today we have yet another story to talk about. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So, Parth left TSM, leaving TSM's general manager position open. That position, to my knowledge, still hasn't been filled. I don't know exactly what their plan for that is, but it's not like Parth stepped down and they had a guy ready to go. I'm not sure if Dominic Callis is just kind of fulfilling those general manager roles for the time being. That's what it kind of sounded like. I don't know if Kays is also going to be a little bit, fulfilling some of those general manager duties. That's what it also kind of sounded like, but I'm not really sure. But for the most part, TSM doesn't have like a sitting titled general manager for the League of Legends team, at least at this time. But they have been hiring for this assistant general manager position for quite some time. I don't know. I remember at least back to, I want to say like October or November, they've been hiring an assistant GM. And I don't know if that's because they've known Parth has been leaving for months and they knew they were going to have to start like that succession process or whatever, or if they were just always interested in having an assistant GM kind of independent of what was ever going to happen of Parth. I could really see either way that happening. But yeah, they've been trying to hire for an assistant GM for quite some time. And finally, this post on the TSM subreddit talking about the new assistant general manager for League of Legends. It seems like they have finally found their guy. And this is where things get kind of interesting. And it's where things get kind of juicy. And it's where some of the drama starts popping up. So, TSM Report tweeted out, today we welcome Yang Glenn Pojen into our, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, into our TSM League of Legends staff as the assistant general manager. We're excited to have, I don't know, at Ballsy 4300 145, really great Twitter name, in our team. He'll be a strong addition to our project in 2022 onward. Now, for whatever reason, his name didn't ring a bell, even though it probably should have. And as, everyone started looking into him, it was like, oh, this guy used to be the PSG Talon general manager, which at first I was like, dope. That sounds pretty good, actually. PSG Talon, they were a pretty good team. Now, it is weird sometimes where you get these teams that dominate regions, like PSG Talon dominating their region, being not the only team, because obviously Beyond Gaming ended up being pretty strong and pretty formidable as well. But, for the most part, PSG Talon was a dominant team in the region. That can be good and bad for like a general manager. One, it's good because it shows, hey, you built a dominant team, you are the best team in your region. You did some kind of good job in scouting players, picking players, all this stuff. But on the other hand, when you are the dominant team in your region, especially when it's dominance in terms of money, financing, resources, all this stuff, and I don't know that PSG Talent is like the richest org in that region or has the most resources or anything like that, but I know that, hey, they have the biggest brand value. They, if you are a good player in that region, you are probably going to want to play for PSG Talon, be willing to play for PSG Talon, whatever. So, really, as a GM over there, I'm sure Glenn had pick of whoever he wanted. He got to pick from the best of the best, even being able to, to import some players and things like that. So it can be good and bad. It's good that you got there, but then also there's kind of an asterisk by it where it's like, you were probably playing GM on easy mode a little bit, and I don't mean to take that away from any of the work he did or stuff he did before, but it can be hard to tell. I think it can be hard to evaluate someone's overall work. But, whatever, I was down for it. I was like, hey, PSG Talent is a pretty good team. I'm sure Glenn must have did a good job over there. Hey, hopefully this is exciting. Hopefully this will be a big pickup for TSM. But what I was not remembering, and thankfully the internet reminded us, and something that has me way, way, way more worried, is this. Obviously, this comment here, where people are saying, yes, this guy who leaks scrims. And then I had like the epiphany of remembering back to what happened this past season, and who Mr. Glenn is or has been. Hopefully is not anymore, but has been in the past. And it is kind of funny, but either way, we had this tweet from Rita Cute Bichu, ranking by PSG GM Glenn. Pick one based on team stats. Highlights of his opinions about scrims. I think the condition of C9 is worse than 2020 TSM Worlds roster, which is just a funny statement. Maybe Mad can win the champion, but C9 can't achieve the champion. He ended up being correct about that, obviously. And then saying DK is not LCK DK in the scrims, and no one really even knows what that means. But he posted power rankings. He leaked some scrim results. He was talking about just what was kind of going on behind the scenes, and he was doing something that most people would consider pretty unprofessional, pretty bad, pretty terrible decision making by a general manager, and something that could be very, very detrimental to your personal reputation, your team's reputation, and your team's ability to get scrims and to get relationships and stuff in the future. Like, scrims is a big thing. Yeah, you need other people to like you for scrims and stuff, but I mean, having good relationships with teams and things, it can get you a lot more as well. It can get you, potentially hookups for, when you want to go boot camp internationally, getting facilities, getting setups, just generally you want to have a good relationship with people, and scrimming people and then going and taking to interviews and taking to the internet and posting power rankings and saying, hey, this and this and this and this happened in scrims. Pretty bad look. This was from last year's MSI. This was something that people were overall not happy about. And, here, Raz chimes in. PSG's GM really making himself look bad on this one, huh? And, yeah, people were not happy about this. People thought this was very, very weird. But, whatever. Maybe Glenn learned from that. Maybe he got some backlash from that. Maybe some other teams weren't happy. Maybe they let PSG Talent know. Who knows? I don't know exactly what the fallout from this whole situation was. But, if this is the one thing he's ever done, maybe you can look past it. Maybe people move on, whatever. But fast forward. Again, this is May of 2021. Fast forward a couple of months. We're talking October of 2021. This is Worlds. PSG Talent has another good season in the summer. They qualify for Worlds once again. They qualify for the international tournament once again. And we get this from Peter Dunn. Again, this is October 4th of 2021. Like 5 months later. I know people love the leaks from PSG scrims, but if you are a pro team / coach, why would you ever scrim them knowing that your info could be leaked? And then this is the big thing for me out of the whole thing. I mean, the whole situation's pretty big, but this is the big thing. If their manager's leaking power rankings publicly, imagine what is being leaked in private. Yes, imagine what he is telling other teams, other general managers, his friends, people he is close to in the scene, whether it be, I don't know if he was close with like Beyond Gaming, if he's close with, Chinese teams, Korean teams, whatever. He probably knows people. He probably has friends. He probably talks. You cannot even imagine what kind of information and stuff he was giving out. And again, to go through what he went through at MSI, to face the backlash he received, and I'm assuming he had to have felt some stuff behind the scenes from people at MSI. And then to do it again at Worlds, this is not an isolated incident. This was not a one-time thing for Mr. Glenn. I am all about second chances. I'm all about people growing. I'm all about, not canceling people or, making a mistake shouldn't mean your career's ruined or, this, that, whatever. I've said stupid stuff. I've done stupid stuff. You have said stupid stuff. You have done stupid stuff. That doesn't mean that you are a horrible person. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. That doesn't mean, you're screwed for the rest of your life. But, that doesn't mean that actions can't have consequences. That doesn't mean that certain things might disqualify you from certain positions for some amount of time until you go on and prove yourself. Now, again, I'm not saying Glenn should never get another general manager job, that he should never get another chance or whatever. But I am saying if I'm TSM, I'm saying, hey, Glenn, you just had a pretty rough year. You didn't make one mistake. Maybe the first time was a mistake. The second time had to be a conscious decision after you've already heard people's criticism and backlash and stuff. We hope you rebound. We hope you come back from this. We hope you're able to get another general manager job. We hope you're able to prove yourself. We hope you go a full year without leaking scrims and you do a great job and maybe people start to turn around on you. But that first opportunity, it's not going to be here at TSM. Hey, maybe you go have a good year somewhere else, and then you come to TSM, but you're not going from this guy that's leaking scrims at PSG and doing all this crazy stuff and having a bad reputation and having bad relationships with teams and everything all over the place, and then coming to TSM right after that. This is so weird for TSM, in my opinion. It makes no sense already at a time where TSM, their reputation and their kind of appearance to the rest of the world and even to LCS teams is at an all-time low. You're going through a PR nightmare with this Reggie stuff. You're having old players and old people who've worked with TSM come out of the woodworks and talk about the horrible stories and experiences they've had with TSM. You're having the team not be that successful. You're having a team struggle. The last couple years have been pretty terrible for TSM in terms of performance, in terms of, just gaining respect and notoriety and stuff around the world. And now you're going to come and bring in another PR nightmare, another guy who is potentially not well respected, another guy who is potentially an issue and a problem. This seems like an unnecessarily huge risk for TSM. Now, yes, he is not the GM. He is just the assistant GM. He is going to have checks and balances in place. Hopefully that will prevent him from doing anything stupid. And at the end of the day, winning cures all. If this guy is truly a great GM and great at roster building and great at, managing and running teams, and he can get TSM running smooth and he can do all these amazing things, that would be great. But again, I just don't understand why TSM felt the need to do this. They definitely had other options. And again, even if you thought Glenn was the guy, hey, let him go prove himself somewhere else. Let him figure out his reputation, his name, and what's going on before coming into TSM. Why, if you were TSM and you were claiming to be a premier esports organization in the world, not just in North America, in the world, why are you, the team, taking risks like this on guys like this who have not yet proved themselves? Again, this is just from 2021 Worlds. This is like 5 months ago. So weird from TSM. And then, we don't see anywhere on Twitter, and then there's this as well, just kind of other posts about MSI leaks and all that stuff. This is a huge story that a lot of people were talking about. I just didn't remember this guy's name for whatever reason. But then, you have TSM who has said that this is their era of transparency. This is their era where, hey, TSM hasn't done a good job, answering to the fans, answering to media, stuff like that. And we have gotten pretty much radio silence from TSM about this issue. And it's not because they don't know about it. It's not because they haven't heard. I'm pretty sure Dominic Callis is in this Reddit thread where everyone is here. And even this guy at him, he says, hey, we're just going to ignore the past controversy. Got it. Welcome aboard, Glenn. And this stuff is all over Twitter. This is in the Twitter replies of people talking about him getting hired. And TSM has said nothing. So this is a bad look in a lot of different ways for TSM. Like, one, weird hire. Two, is this guy going to hurt TSM? Like, not even will he be a good or bad GM. Is he actively going to hurt TSM? Is this hurting their relationships with other teams, with other general managers, with other organizations? And is he going to do some stupid stuff like this with TSM? He is a potential risk. And how are you going to stop it? If he goes and does interviews, or he goes and does media, or he streams, or he tweets, or whatever, like, are you going to be 100% confident that he's not going to do this stuff? I don't know. We haven't seen him not do it yet. We've seen the last 2 international tournaments, he's done stuff like this. And again, it brings up the question of what is he doing in private? But then you have my issue with TSM where they talk about this is going to be their year of transparency. They talk about how things are going to be different. And now, a month into, this new era or whatever, maybe 2 months, shit's already hitting the fan once, and they're being put to their first test about having to address some tough questions, having to address the media, having to address fans, having to address concerns, and we have not heard a damn word from them. Now, obviously, there is still time. Hopefully, we'll get a statement from them soon. Somebody's going to ask Dominic about it eventually. Somebody's going to ask Kaze about it eventually. Somebody's going to ask TSM about it eventually. They're going to have to say something. I mean, I guess they can just dodge questions forever, but that is absolutely not fitting in their narrative of transparency in a new era for TSM. I mean, at least in my opinion, that's seeming like a lot of the same old from TSM which is fine, but just don't, pander to your audience and pander to your fans and say how this year is going to be different or how stuff has changed for TSM. And then again, the very first instance you're put to the test, go quiet, go silent, whatever. Because I think a lot of TSM fans are worried about this, and rightfully so. This seems like something to be worried about. This seems like a very, very questionable decision from TSM, an organization that, again, is already in hot water with a lot of other fans, with a lot of other orgs, with a lot of other people in the League of Legends scene community, in esports scene and community. So yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I have questions. It could work out. He could do a great job. I hope he does. But do I think he has earned this opportunity right now? And do I think it makes any sense for TSM to be the team taking the risk on this guy right now? No, absolutely not. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Are you fine with this hire from TSM? Do you think it was a good hire from TSM? Or do you think it was bad and you maybe have some questions? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.